What's up, guys? This is your SoCal fishing forecast for Thursday, November 12th. This week's episode is brought to you by SwordfishGear.com, your #1 source for deep drop swordfish tackle, including hooks, leaders, lights, and custom swordfish rods, featuring Winthrop, adjustable butts, and roller tips. All orders over $50 include free shipping, so stop by SwordfishGear.com today. Quick look at our 10-day weather forecast here. It's looking pretty nice. Today is absolutely gorgeous. There is not even a ripple of wind on the water this evening. Pretty rad. Pretty much looking like a lake out there. We do have a warming trend coming up here over the weekend. We'll take a look at that. Let's take a look at the wind. Currently we have light winds obviously inshore. We've had the light offshore flow in the morning. And it looks like that's going to be kind of the trend here for a little bit. We're going to be getting some wind on the outside, which is going to give us a little bit of an eddy here late Friday into Saturday. So we got to look out for this little wind swell that's going to come through here. Not for a prolonged period, but it is going to happen. And then as you go into Saturday, we're going to be looking at some Santa Ana conditions inshore. So it's still going to be bumpy out here on the outside on the big tuna grounds, but we're going to be having this wind blow offshore, which is going to warm up, obviously, the air. And you see this gets a little bit more aggressive later in the week. So we'll keep an eye on that. This isn't a for sure thing with these wind patterns. When you start getting this far out, it's best just to look and consider this as a trend, but not an actual. But I would say Friday, this is a trend for sure. Onshore wind, especially out here. It's going to be pretty bumpy. Saturday, it's still going to be bumpy out here, but this is going to lighten up. Sunday, this is where we're going to see some of that offshore flow start to change and warm up, but you're still going to have some lighter winds here. And then Monday is when it really turns basically offshore. So we'll see what happens with that. Keep a close eye and make sure you are checking out your latest marine forecasts. So inshore, like I said, still going to have some wind here. And they're showing this west wind swell, this 2 to 3 foot wind swell. You know, they're showing it earlier here at 6 or 7 seconds. So I'd say, 2 foot is pretty manageable. 3 foot, it could be a little annoying. So keep an eye out on this. And the southwest swell is going to be close to like 17 or 18 seconds, but that's coming in mainly through Saturday. So that's not going to really do too much to it, but it could get crossed up with this wind swell and make it probably more annoying than anything on our inner waters here inside the islands. Outside, it's just going to be bumpy. I wouldn't recommend it for a private boater for sure, especially for this distance out here to the Tanner. But let's take a look at our chart here. This is the 1-day sea surface temp chart. And as you can tell, things got pretty chilly out there. A lot different looking than last week. We dropped about 5 degrees across the board. And when that happens, the water gets churned up. We get upwelling. And as you can see, we got the chloro all the way across the coast. So these waters along the coast can be a lot cooler than what they were. And as you can tell by this chart, it's showing 60, but the actual reports are in the mid 50s to high 50s along the beaches. So, like I said, this is an overall pattern view, not a dead-on view. So, your coastal fishing is pretty much going to be crap for at least for the next 3-4 days. And so maybe this weekend it's going to warm up. So if you're going to be doing some bass fishing or trying to fish this coastal stuff, make sure you're trying to aim for that shallow, warmer water. Because most of the stuff right now is in the high 50s. Catalina surprisingly did really, really well through the swell or through that wind last week. This direction really favored the front side, so it didn't really mash up the water too bad. Easton was fishing really good this week as well. Still a ton of those bonito out there. The bass bite's still all right, and occasional yellowtail here and there. So if you're looking for Catalina, that might be a good closed bed option for this weekend. San Clemente Island, pretty much everyone has been skipping. They're going to have a lot of activity this week. going on Saturday, but Sunday actually looks pretty nice. So if you guys don't want to go to Catalina for a little less crowded action, San Clemente Island might be the choice that you're looking for. As far as the bite goes, there's still yellows there. They're gonna hang out in this water. This is fine for them, but no one has really fished it, so there is no really good accurate reports. But the usual spots: Pyramid Coves by the caves, Purseine Rock, into the runway on the north end, the 9, the usual spots is where I would be looking. Now, the big bluefin. Wow, man, I thought these fish would have ran off after that wind, and despite this huge temp drop, they are still there, which is pretty awesome. So we still have the smaller 20 to 40 pound fish here in the shallows on the high spot on the Tanner proper, and then the deeper, bigger fish are in that 5,200 fathoms, the deep water between the Cortez and the Tanner. They're still there. Seems like it's been like 20 fish that are in the 100 to 200 pound range, and then you'll get one jumbo 350-ish is kind of in the ratio. So if you're going to fish this on a sport boat, it's going to be on a day-and-a-half trip most likely, and I would not bring anything less than a 100-pound setup to fish these things. Anything less than that, you're going to get smoked, broken off, and just waste everyone's time. So don't do that. But if you're going to be fishing the small stuff, absolutely. 20-pound test, 30-pound test for these smaller bluefin. They're a little pickier. But if you're fishing for jumbos, make sure you bring a heavy setup, preferably a 2-speed as well. They are catching them in the dark also. Flat falls, knife jigs, anything glow in the dark, even pinion squid has worked also. So don't count those out. As far as down south, man, these fish have pretty much run off for the most part. Anything that was in the 371, 425 area is pretty much gone, other than the occasional kelp with some smaller grade yellowtail in that 2 to 4 pound class. So if you see a bunch of high numbers on the fish count, don't be impressed. Just a bunch of rats for the most part. Some of that yellowfin Dorado has been hanging around the upper Hidden Bank area a little bit better. But these fish are going to be on the move south here, especially if the water continues to cool down, which it's that time of year. So might be your last chance to get on one of these. This is probably still on a overnight trip, I'd say, for most of the stuff down this way. But that's pretty much what's going on for now. But have a safe weekend, guys. Be safe out there on the water, and we'll see you next week. Cheers. If you like what you saw today, you can subscribe to our channel or follow us along on Instagram and Facebook. And always remember, share the stoke.